Have you ever wondered how to clean dirty Lego that you buy secondhand? Well, today here at Old Mountain Bricks, we're going to show you how to do just that. This is set number 60182 from 2018. This is called the Pickup and Caravan. I'm going to show you kind of my process when I buy a used Lego set like this, and if it comes a little bit dirty, on kind of what to do in order to kind of get it back into tip-top shape. But taking a closer look at the set, you can see it's got some dust on it and a little bit of grime here and there, maybe a little bit of discoloration, but we'll kind of test that to see if it is actually discolored or just a little dirty. The main thing with these kind of sets though is to watch out for these stickers on here, as you don't want them to peel off when you're doing this. So the first thing we're going to do is actually take it all apart so we can clean it properly. Okay, and here's the set all broke down there. Normally you don't have to break down every single piece if you don't want to, so like some of the smaller things that might leave together or things like Technic and such. I like to separate all like the sticker pieces again so I can make sure those don't get damaged while I'm cleaning it there. But this is about 344 pieces, so a decent size set to do this to. I don't always recommend it, but for the purposes of the video, I wanted to show you kind of what it goes through there, so that took me just a little bit to do that. And now we need to get the bath ready. Alright, so next you come up to your average sink here that has a little bit of depth to it and like a colander or strainer, kind of similar like this. Make sure your drain is in place. Doesn't have to be like blocking the water flow, but have it there in case any small pieces do escape through here. And then all you really need to do is add in the pieces. And again, I'm going to keep the ones with the stickers separate. So let me do that real quick. And then just kind of do my best to kind of dump them in here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the water on and do a quick kind of time lapse showing, just kind of getting this all wet there, and then I'm going to add a little bit of dish soap to it. So sometimes I like to soak the Legos and let them just kind of sit for a little bit, but this isn't that dirty, so that's why you can just kind of run it under the water here. You use your average brush to kind of just clean it off, just like that. Normally I recommend using one that you don't use for like cups and stuff. This is just kind of my extra brush, if you will. So I just kind of scrub down anything that you think needs a little bit more, and otherwise the water will get a ton of it here. So just watch out for like window pieces or things that maybe get stuck together, and then you just kind of go through like this, just kind of rotating it all, make sure it all hits the water. And you just keep doing this until you feel like it's pretty clean. And now with the sticker pieces and minifigs, I just do those by hand using that same wand there. So get the water going again just a little bit, and just kind of scrub it gently there in order to get some of the dirt off of there without, again, damaging the sticker too much or putting it through the whole bin in there getting turned around. And I normally recommend drying the sticker off immediately after you do it, again, to avoid any kind of damage and to make sure it looks as good as it can. And then you just repeat that for any of the other stickers and minifigures. And again, the whole point of using this colander now, once everything is done, is you can just kind of shake it out. You can see some of the water falling down. You just kind of do this for over and over until the water kind of stops coming out the bottom. Next thing you do is you just set out a towel here like this, and then just kind of come over here and dump out the Legos, trying to spread it out as much as you can over said towel, because if you have big clumps of it there, it's not going to dry as quickly. Again, make sure you get all the tiny pieces because it might stick to the colander. And then once you make sure all of that is good, you just kind of put that back in the sink and let that dry. And again, like I said, just kind of spread everything out so nothing's like sticking together. You can see like these two plates here are sticking together just because of the water friction. So you can just kind of pull those apart and do your best to kind of just spread it out over an area, and again to avoid any large clumps of Lego sticking together, especially if you did leave anything assembled like this little bin here. Open it up, avoid any water, mildew, mold, all that kind of stuff is why you need to make sure that everything is dried efficiently. Okay, so I think that's spread out pretty good. You can speed along the drying process a little bit by just grabbing a towel and kind of just blotting it there to try and get some of that excess moisture off of there. Again, being careful not to pick up any of the smalls that kind of get stuck in like a towel or anything, and you can just kind of wipe things off like that. Again, just to help kind of move things along a little bit, especially like the window pieces and that I have in this particular set, as to just avoid any streaks and bubbles and everything kind of setting in from like the water. The main thing with this is I always like to leave this out overnight or as long as you can there to just kind of let things air dry, periodically coming by, kind of rotating things around just to kind of get maybe like flip one side to the other to allow some more drying. So in the interest of this video, we're going to speed this along a little bit. We're going to let this dry, and I'll come back in a little bit here and show you the dried product here, but we're going to fast forward in time here, so hang with me. Alright, it's the next day. You can see everything is nice and dry now. So you have two options from here. You can either dump everything into one big pile or you can sort it. Because it's not too large of a build, I'm just going to combine everything other than like the sticker pieces and like the window glass and put it in one thing here. And then we'll go ahead and get started with the build in a second. We've got the pieces slightly sorted here. We've got all the plate and other similar plate type things in this bucket, and basically everything else in that one. And you can see it's almost like a 50-50 split. Some of these are a little bigger in here, like the tires and like the window pieces and everything. But I find it's a little easier if you can at least sort it a little bit. Some folks then sort by color or a more specific plate, as the more sorting you do beforehand, the easier it'll be to find pieces when you're rebuilding a used set like this. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of dump it out and sort it just a tiny bit more, and then we'll get started with the rebuild. Okay, so there's that bucket. So I'll take some of like the minifigure pieces and like these other big ones that had the stickers on them and such, and just kind of set those off to the side. Same with like the tires. Those are obviously, you know, for a particular section when we get there, so that just helps kind of clear things up just a little bit more. Same with like the window glass and everything, or other minifigure accessories like this net. And it's also best to try and spread things out so they're not stacked on top of each other, as it's a little hard to find things when they're all stuck together or hidden there. So that helps clear that up a little bit there for me. And then we do the same thing with the plate over here. We just kind of dump all of that out. And again, I just kind of take the really big pieces, kind of put them off to one side. Like these look kind of similar. Those are kind of big. Put those over there. This one's a different color. And again, spread them out so you can kind of see as much as you can there. And then you just have to find the instructions. When you don't have instructions for a set, you can find almost every single one on the LEGO website. All you need to know is kind of the set name or the set number. So I think this one is called something like Truck and Caravan. So let's try that first. And there it is, right over there. So from 2017, and then you can just view the instructions, and up it comes in two different ones here. You can then just download them. It'll then open like in a new browser basically, and then you can get started with the build. Once you do that, you clear a nice space in the middle here. You put on your favorite audiobook or music, and then get started with the build. It's been a minute since I've built a used LEGO set like this, but the only main difference is it takes a bit to get everything organized. Quick interruption to show you the missing minifigure on this is the kid. So I guess he's gone missing along with the fish and the crab there. So, whoops, but that's okay. We then finish up the truck and start on the caravan, which was the funnest part of the build because it's always nice putting these little trailers and campers together there. It has some fun details hidden within. The stickers were already applied, but this kind of rebuild gets easier as you go through it because you start running out of pieces, and it makes it a lot easier to get this finished up. And here is the truck and caravan all finished up there, so everything went together quite nicely. The main thing, as I pointed out, they're kid has gone missing, but other than that, I had to improvise a little with the satellite dish as I was missing that. Must have gotten knocked off either when I bought it. I'll have to check the tape where it wasn't on there to begin with. But everything else was there, and it turned out pretty good, and the cleaning process definitely was worth it. You can definitely tell a big difference from the beginning, especially on the truck with the red and the exterior. There's a little bit of yellowing there, not as bad as I thought it was going to be, so I'm overall okay with it. The set itself did have those 2 instruction manuals. It was not split evenly like I thought it was going to, like most things do these days, but it still got the job done. The truck is pretty simple, uses like this has a tan strip, has like these big tires there, nothing crazy here. You can remove the roof section in order to put the minifigure inside. They do have like the centered steering wheel on this still. I'm not really too sure why that is. I guess you could have moved it off to the side, but the instructions said to center it, so we did. I guess the other folks just ride in the caravan over there. The caravan or the trailer or the little RV itself is my favorite part of this set, and of course is the majority of the build. There is a little kickstand down here in order to keep it from falling over like that, so it'll stand up nicely like that. Otherwise, you can see it kind of tilts forward there. It is kind of what you call like a 5th wheel type caravan trailer, so it hooks in right in the back there rather than like on the hitch of a truck. To get access to it, you can just remove a couple sections there, so you've got a little bed right up there. I guess that's where they can sleep. Or you can open the door and get inside. Or the other section does open up like this in order to have access to the interior. You've got a little section there, a little cabinet, a couple of drinks, a coffee machine, some swivel chairs, and a little TV sticker piece over there. But it all goes together nicely, and I am super excited to finally have the caravan in the LEGO City. And just a quick look at the 2 minifigures that come with the set. Again, it's like a husband and wife there. And nothing too crazy on these. He has like a flannel shirt and some jeans, and she's wearing like a little jumper or cardigan type thing and comes with a camera. But overall, nothing crazy on this, but they get the job done. Again, that was just a quick little review, as the main focus of the video was how to clean your used Legos. So if you thought this video was helpful, or if you have any questions, definitely leave a comment below. I'll be glad to answer them. But a little bit of soap and water goes a long way with the average Lego set there. And again, you don't always have to take it apart in order to do that, but I wanted to because I wanted to build this particular way. So there's a few different ways to slice it. So again, if you thought this video was helpful, leave a like on the way out, comment down below what you think, and subscribe to Amount Brick so you don't miss the next LEGO City update where we find a place for this in our LEGO City, or other reviews or shopping videos coming your way. And until next time, thanks for coming on by today. Have a good one.